Hello and welcome back to what might be the final episode of Home. Pretty short game actually. I remember when I loaded up it said like put aside an hour and a half to play it. But we made it to our house and it looks like we killed our friend and some random people, I don't know. My laptop had been left on and only had a tiny bit of power left. On the screen was a website about the old water tower. There was a key on top of the drawer of my desk. Did I take it? Yes. I pocketed the key. I'm gonna have to stop doing that voice for future videos. It hurts my throat. Pardon me. Sorry, I'm peeking the mic on that one. So yeah, my basic premise is that after the plant shut down, we never got back on our feet. We're drunk. Became like a drunkard. Could I go in here? The door was stuck shut. There was an old-fashioned keyhole underneath the handle. Okay, I can't go in there. But so what? Yeah, that's what I'm assuming is that we got drunk. We became abusive physically or, mentally. She contacted Norman. She tried to be like, Norman, can you help me out here because we were friends? We took her the wrong way. She was going to leave us, so we killed her and Norman. And not sure about waking up in the other place. I'm not sure if it's like a psychological thing or I unlocked the basement door. There were old Christmas decorations in the box. The garbage bags were stuffed with old paint cans and supplies. There was a dirty old key here. Did I take the key? Yes. I took the small key and tried to remember what I'd unlocked. Okay, so, I had put up this divider wall last summer so we could create a separate room in the basement. I hadn't finished it yet, so the door was stuck, and the drywall was poorly installed. I might have been able to break through if I had found something heavy enough. Okay, so that's why we gotta go up. There were old clothes, tools, and other things we obviously hadn't thrown out yet. Okay, so let's head back up. And we can go in here now, I believe. The grimy key I had found in the basement unlocked the door. It looked like the room had been tossed around. The furniture was a mess. Did somebody break in here? No, I'm pretty sure we just... There was an old crowbar on the floor. Did I need to take the crowbar? Yeah, that can break the wall downstairs. I lifted the heavy crowbar. I appreciated its weight. So yeah, we must have just... Really wish the sound wouldn't peak itself out like that. Feels like I need to turn it down a bit more, but it's only been for the factory and the factory in the house, so it shouldn't be too bad. I'll take a look at it in post. Did I break through the wall with the crowbar? Yes. With a heave, I swung the crowbar at the wall. I smashed a hole large enough to step through. As I stepped through the broken wall, my breath caught in my throat. This was it. Was Rachel down there? Was she okay? Don't look. Okay. There's a bunch of Kate. Did we go crazy and start killing people? Is that what all the names were? Were those our notes? Jeez. Because that's a bunch of closed eyes. A filthy-looking pile of rags had been dumped in the corner. The stench of them was awful and made my eyes water. I was terrified to even touch the pile to see what lay within, but I knew I had to. I had come this far. After all this searching, after all I had seen, when I looked within the rags, did I finally find my Rachel? Yes. It was worse than I could have possibly imagined. Within the folds of that rotten-smelling heavy fabric was the pale, dead figure of my darling wife. What struck me most was that she wasn't bloody or torn apart. Rather, she was covered in sickly green bruises and... Oh my god! Oh, fuck you, dude. Fuck us. The real horror there was that whoever had killed her had done so intimately, with bare hands. So this is what had been gnawing at the back of my head this whole time. This is what I was afraid of. I thought about all I had seen and wondered if any of it could help me figure out who had done this. And when I couldn't stay there any longer, I stepped away on shaky legs and made my way back upstairs. Reluctantly, exhausted from my journey, I could no longer resist the urge to close my eyes. No, seriously, fuck you, dude. Gotta shift to my chair a bit. Grim Discovery Achievement. Maybe I would use some of Rachel's travel books and find some place to go. No. You go turn yourself in. You are a goddamn monster. You've killed, like... No. Okay, so what do I do now? Within the few broken pieces that remained of that mirror, I could see my face had grown pale and weak. I couldn't bear to look again. It was like I didn't actually expect a reflection. I felt empty and drained. The reflection in that grimy glass was only a shadow, a whisper. I still loved the old-time charm of that claw-footed bathtub, though it seemed like cold comfort then. Alright. I don't know where to go, like... I couldn't go back down, not until I'd gone over everything. I needed to make sure I was perfectly clear. The mail still sat there, heaped on the floor. How long had Rachel been lying in that basement? So do I gotta go to every room of the house and just figure out I was a jackass? Like, no, not even a jackass. My old office safe sat on the floor. It used a digital passcode lock. Did I try to open it? No, that wasn't it. Damn, I couldn't remember. I leafed through the notebook I had taken from the forest. In it were the names that had been written down. Heather, Olivia. 1, 2, 3. Rachel. I recall the names I saw on that old desk, deep within those musty tunnels. Was the man at that house really up to something? Okay, so I need to find the code to open that. So, let's just try and check on the second floor, and then I'll go back up to the third. It was the letter I had taken from the postbox. Who had it out for Norman? Who sent him that letter? It must have been someone from the neighborhood. Or at least somebody wanted it to look that way. I wasn't sure what to think. Did he murder Rachel? No. No way. Norman had ended up dead himself. Whoever sent that threatening letter must have got to him. But who the hell was that? I still had no idea what was... Oh, yes, nice. In the garbage. I had only found a way to watch it. From now on, I'd have no one to get angry with me for stupid things like buying this TV. Okay, so we don't know the full story, so I guess it could be possible that Norman killed Rachel, and then we killed Norman. But I don't think that's what happened at all. It was the keycard I found in the factory, the one that allowed me to slip through that door. It seemed to me that it was probably Norman's, but if that was true, what was he doing back at the plant? Did I think Norman was going back to the factory? No. No, somebody else was using that locker room, but who? You're a fucking... The laptop had finally run out of power. And this is just the bedroom over here, and I don't think there was anything in there. Here's my wallet with its contents intact. Either I dropped that stuff or somebody else did. Maybe I was sleepwalking and maybe somebody stole it from me. Norman's store, that forest, that water tower. Was I at those places before? Yes. I didn't see how it could have happened any other way. I must have been the one to lose my wallet and its contents. But what does that mean? For what? I needed some kind of escape. Okay, so I think we can head downstairs now and head into the kitchen and all that. It seemed like I had seen all there was. Maybe I thought I was ready to go back into that basement. Let's just make sure. I don't think there was anything in the kitchen, but I can check. There would be no more dinners here, no more chit-chat over breakfast. At least not for us. Okay. I'm pretty sure that would just tell me that I couldn't go out back. Alright. none of this is inspectable anymore. Now that I stood there, I realized I couldn't go back into that room again. I had already seen too much. Okay, so what do we do? I needed to put an end to this situation one way or another. So what do I do? And do I leave? There was nothing for me here anymore. No reason to stay in that house. Did I leave, never to return? No. I felt like I had to think about it a bit more. R-A-C-H-E... Rachel, no. I'll try this, but if this doesn't work, then I'm just going to leave the house, and I think I'll get, like, an ending I'm not proud of. This was not the place to go. R-A-C-H... Yeah, no, that's not enough. There's nothing for me here anymore. Oh yeah, I already read that. Did I leave, never to return? Yes. Living in this town hadn't been easy. The plant had helped in some way to stay grounded. It kept me in line, gave me something to do, and helped me get away from my past. When the factory closed, everything changed. I guess that was when I had started sleepwalking, disappearing for hours at a time. I had MRIs and a pile of doctor's report, but nothing seemed to help. Not even drinking. But I swear I tried to give it up. I know it. The sleepwalking never really went away, though. But I know Rachel had tried. I know she had tried to be there for me, even when everything was falling apart. This night had unearthed terrible truths, but I knew it was the final act of long-standing horror I'd been living. Waking up at the house tonight was the final cruelty. I wish I had remained unconscious in that room forever. Even the man I had found in that old place was a mystery. Why he was dead or who had done it to him was not something I could even begin to understand. Or why, for that matter, I was in that damn room in the first place. Now that I thought of it, those sewers were a terrible mystery. What had happened there? I was lucky in my way to even find my way out of there. But I needed to find out what was on that tape and that I now kept. What might it have shown me? I had found the contents of my wallet scattered throughout town. Why the hell had I been out there? Had my sleepwalking gone to some new extreme? I thought that I couldn't account for my whereabouts, but knew I had been at that forest and even Norman's place. Well, it was terrifying. I didn't know what that meant, but at least I had recovered my things. Hopefully, I thought, that would cover my tracks, so I wouldn't be blamed for all this. Deep within those woods, though, was where things became truly awful. Finding that notebook only made things worse. Rachel's name had been on that list, so what terrible plot was she a part of? There was a similar list of names on that desk back in the tunnels. What was the connection? Whatever had happened, I knew at least that Norman wasn't the one who kept going back to that factory. I hoped it meant that he had nothing to do with that guard's violent end. But who had been rooting through those lockers, or drinking in that boarded-up room? After the factory, I thought I might find some solace if I could just get to Norman's store. But all I had found there were more horrors and more questions. Now that I really consider it, that's when I should have seen it coming. Damn, Norman, how did you get mixed up in all this? I know you weren't a perfect man, none of us are, but you didn't deserve this. Maybe whoever done it to you was responsible for the other murders that happened in that town. At the very least, I was convinced you and Rachel were killed by that same person. Yeah, me. Well, you. I sincerely hoped you would find some peace, my friend. I knew I never would. When I had marched through the rain towards home, I desperately clung to the hope that this would end. Guessing in the way I did, and I guessed in a way it did, but how could I have known how hopeless it all was? I had started to feel as disoriented as when I sleepwalked, to think of it now. Our house used to feel so lively, so warm. But coming into the kitchen, I felt only a cold, empty tension. Every terrible thought I had up to that point was suddenly a possibility, but nothing could have prepared me. My wife, dead, ruined, discarded. Rachel's death was a terrible mystery to me, one that would haunt me forever unless I did something about it. For what solace can a man take in the death of his wife? What comfort can be offered? Rachel had been taken from me, and I might never know why. As I swung open the door and stepped out into the air, I caught the scent of wet grass and fog. Rachel, my beautiful wife. Just the thought of her again, cold and inert, shook me from head to toe. What would I do now? Who could I turn to? It would only be a matter of time before the police got involved, before the neighbors knew. The front lawn was soft and gave beneath my feet, and I couldn't shake the urge that I shouldn't stand there, but rather that I should run. Slipping away, okay? And that was the end of Home. I'm not sure if I'm going to go back and get all the stuff I didn't get, maybe put up as a special video, or if the video interested you enough and you want to try it out, you can go through and make all the choices that I didn't. But either way, as always, I hope you enjoyed. And if you did, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. But I certainly do hope that you hit that subscribe and notification bell. And as always, I'll see you later.